Yes, sir. Here with another episode with the A-Team. That stunk. Yes, sir. Let me show you how to do it. Yes, sir. What's up, folks? This is Terez, Paylor, your chief beat writer for the Kansas City Star. And we got the entire A-Team here in the KC Star podcast studio for what should be the last time in a while. Plus one, Andy McCullough's in the house. And I've also got Sam, I'm a bad impressionist Mellinger.
Damn it.
Vahir Gregorian, Blair Kirkhoff. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good.
Great.
Listen. Face not feeling it today. How you doing, Andy?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. Thermostat in my apartment doesn't work, so this is the warmest building that I'm allowed entry into in Kansas City. It's either this or the YMCA. So I'm glad
Who
to be
let
here.
you in, by the way?
Chris did. Yeah,
Okay.
Chris did. My access card no longer works, but you can read all my stories at LosAngelesTimes.com/Dodgers.
That would be producer engineer Chris Fickett. Chris, at what time are we going to run out of battery today?
Yeah, just where we at here?
We are on full. We have 3 bars. Okay. So
We're gonna need them. You guys better get ready. It's the end of the season, so we got to stack up here and make this thing work. Listen, folks, as always, we got a great show for you, jam-packed too. First, of course, we're gonna break down the Chiefs' season-ending loss to the New England Patriots in the AFC Divisional round, and since the Chiefs did lose, we finally get to play a segment called Shame, where you'll never believe this, we identify reasons the Chiefs lost to the Patriots.
Oh, good.
That's going to replace the grown-ass man of the week because you don't get credit when you lose.
You've had this shame one dialed
I've
up
had
for like
this
3
thing for
months,
3 months.
and
I'm
haven't,
ready to
haven't
go.
been able to use it.
I'm ready to go. We're also going to set the bar for next season. We're going to quantify the loss of Doug Peterson. He's going to be the head coach of the Eagles. And we got our trusty gimmicks portion of the show ready to go. We're going to play who he played for. We'll discuss the scouting term of the week for the final time. We're also going to do a 5-man edition of Old Man Football, which should be fun. And since we've got Andy in the house again, I was thinking we were going to play Andy Ass, but that has been scrapped. We're gonna let it ride. We're gonna have you for the duration. So just if you feel comfortable, whenever.
I have one question about Andy Reid.
You drop that in as soon as I finish this intro here.
Okay.
And finally, we're going to answer your reader mail, which will cover free agents, the franchise tag, draft options, and more. And now, as always, we kick the podcast off with our grown-ass man of the week. But like I just said, it feels a little wrong to do so given the fact they lost. So we're going to replace it with shame. And basically, what I want us to do is just kind of go around this room here, and just tell me a reason why you thought the Chiefs ended up losing this weekend. And we always start the grown ass man part with Sam, so this is a pretty good chance to just keep that going forward. So Sam, big reason they lost this weekend. Tell me why.
The Patriots are better than the Chiefs. That was the number one reason.
Within that, though, I mean, what do you think was the?
Okay, so I think that the clock management thing is distracting from a lot of reasons that they lost, including, but not limited to, their inability or either a game plan that did not include jamming the Patriots receivers more at the line of scrimmage. That was the whole thing to me when the ball was coming out at 1.8 or 2.1 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all based on timing, and you have to disrupt that timing to give your pass rushers a chance. And the Chiefs, who are well equipped to do that, just didn't do it.
So I guess you would put the blame you put the blame at the feet of Bob Sutton. Is that right for that?
Yeah, for that part of it. I mean, that's one reason they lost. Yeah.
All right. So Bob Sutton.
God, I felt good about that one. Good.
Vahir Gregorian, give me your reason the Chiefs lost.
There are so many, but I've got to go with one. And just imagine how different the game is if Niall Davis doesn't fumble.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's it. And just to put it in context real quick, the turnover game. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean,
So against Niall Davis, is that right?
well, it's on Spencer Ware for being injured, Jamal Charles for being injured. It's really Jamal Charles' fault. No. Yeah. Niall Davis' fumble.
Shame.
All right. Blair, who's your shame of the week?
The name has already been mentioned, but what I want to say is the Patriots have lost 3 home playoff games in the Brady Belichick era, and those 3 opponents were the Jets and the Ravens twice. And what those 3 teams had in common was a ferocious attacking defense.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that we saw on Saturday was that type of defense. No pressure very little pressure on Brady. What little pressure they got on Brady, they were in position for some interceptions. Didn't get their hands on them, or got their hands on them and couldn't control them. So Brady controlled the game. Patriots controlled the game, and so I guess I will agree with Sam. I think Bob Sutton has to take a lot of heat for this.
Shame.
Andy?
Someone dropped an interception at one point, right? That happened a couple times.
Yeah, a few guys did.
Couple 3.
Yeah. So I don't remember who they were, but they were on the Chiefs. And basically, it seemed pretty clear. Like this isn't a revolutionary point, but the Patriots were a much better football team. They also, they're flawed. But for the Chiefs to win, the Chiefs kind of needed to play like a relatively mistake-free game, plus take advantage of any sort of opportunities. And so the inability to take advantage of, like when football hits you in the hands, you have to catch it and intercept it. And so whoever those guys were, shame on them.
Shame.
All right. And I guess it's coming for everyone. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think, Sam, you nailed it. Look, you can't give Rob Gronkowski free releases.
Right.
Why is Rob Gronkowski getting free releases?
Right.
Like, you can't do that. Like, of all the people to give a free release, it's not him. If you looked at the 2014 game, they pressed guys. And, like, sometimes Gronkowski, he got some free releases in that game too. But it felt like in that game there was a lot more man coverage, a lot more press coverage. And they played really well in that game. And I feel like they probably should have mixed more of that in there. The Patriots receivers aren't very big, but they're very good route runners. And in today's NFL, if you give them free releases, they're going to be open if you let that happen. So, another part of it too is that the Patriots were just better. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and like you look at the final score and you think, all right, well, they were in it and it was close, and I mean, kind of, but it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't as close as that final score. I don't think it was a 7-point game. The Patriots were in control of that game pretty good, and like you guys, I think there was some positives to take out of that game, and definitely this season. But on Saturday, I guess I'd identify the defensive play calling as my biggest reason that they lost. So.
Shame.
Hey, I've got 2 more. Can I go
you got some
outside?
more.
Can I go outside the box a little bit?
Let's go. What do you got?
One, Pac-Man Jones for losing his brain, because otherwise the Chiefs would have gone to Denver, and I think they could have beat Denver.
Yeah.
Another one is the Chiefs for blowing the first Broncos game, because I think if they win that game, aren't they the number 1 seed?
How did the Bengals figure in? They'd had the same record as the Bengals, would have lost the head-to-head to Cincinnati.
Number 2 seed, then, right? Then they play.
But wouldn't the Patriots, Bengals, and Chiefs all been 12-4 at that point?
Then it goes to conference record, probably.
I don't know.
I
don't
got
know.
a solution for you. If they would have beaten the Bears and the Broncos, they'd put 13.
Well, for sure. But either way, they have a first-round bye. So, and this is all happenstance and whatever, but if they have that first-round bye, Jeremy Maclin doesn't get hurt last week in Houston, and Justin Houston has a week to rest up. I think, the Patriots were beat up, but they had that week and their guys got healthy. Yeah. The Chiefs did not.
Spencer Ware, too, and Spencer Ware's catching that ball.
Yes.
It's not Niall Davis fumbling.
Yeah. So, there was some stuff they could have done on the front end as well to just give themselves a better chance in the playoffs.
Yeah, those are really good points, Sam. And now I got some questions for you guys, and Andy, feel free to chime in whenever.
Okay.
And we talk about the quarterback a lot, and for good reason. But now the season's finally over, I think it's worth discussing one more time. Has this season made you guys think any differently about Alex Smith? Does he have a higher ceiling than you originally thought?
I actually do, and I may be a voice in the wilderness here, but ever since I talked to a few people and did some research for a story I did earlier in the year, I just started looking at him differently. And look, he really, the dynamics of this offense changed when he got one good receiver. Mm-hmm. Get a second guy who's proven, and you get the versatility of the running game built in. I think he's pretty decent. He's not the best quarterback in the NFL, but I think he's pretty good.
I basically, it was a winding road to get here, but I basically think the same of Alex Smith now that I did coming into the season. And when I say winding road, after that Packers game, I was done. That was an atrocious.
It too. You went in.
That was an atrocious performance, and like the part that bugged me the most was that interception when he's rolling left and he lofts it, and it had no chance. It was a terrible idea, executed horrendously. But after that, he went back to being, I think, in my view at least, a slightly above average quarterback. I think the thing that he did better this year than he's done in the past is run the ball. I think he was better breaking the pocket. Maybe some of that is because last year, in 2014, he didn't have a chance to break the pocket because Mike McGlynn was on his butt.
But he was really judicious with it this year, I thought. Yeah, right. I mean, he was very smart with the run.
And on third and even some fourth downs, he's making first down. So maybe I think a little bit more of him. But I thought he was a above average quarterback, not great by any stretch, but an above average quarterback last year. It was just a winding road to get back to that point now.
And it's a lot harder to be an elusive quarterback when you got guys coming up the A gap on you. Right. And there's no escaping that.
Yeah.
Blair.
Did you notice that after the Chiefs loss, there were 2 games left in the you had the I'm sorry. After the Chiefs loss, you had Pittsburgh, Denver, and the Patriots live. So you had 3 teams left: New England, Pittsburgh, and Denver. The quarterbacks of those 3 teams have represented the AFL in the Super Bowl 12 of the last 13 years. Roethlisberger, Brady, or Manning. And so I was asked recently, is Alex Smith a quarterback that can get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl? Well, nobody else has gotten their team to the Super Bowl except for those 3 quarterbacks, with the exception of Joe Flacco, one year in Baltimore. So I think the answer to the question is I think he is good enough if you put a great team around him, if you put a great defense around him, if you give him another weapon, Vahe, as you said. I think that he is good enough to get his team to 1 or 2 more playoff victories in a year.
I'll say this. He's better than one of the quarterbacks that's going to be in the AFC Championship game right now. Peyton Manning was terrible. Yeah. I mean, those were some floating ducks that he was throwing.
How great was that, the rope-a-dope play, though, that Peyton Manning did, where he slid to the ground and then popped back up? Got him again. Yeah, I generally agree with what Blair said. Like, he's not one of the 5 best quarterbacks, but, like, he's better than Peyton Manning. Carson Palmer looked like a freshman at USC in that one playoff game. He's better looking than Ben Roethlisberger. He's not as good as Rodgers or Brady or Cam Newton, but like he seems, perfectly like cromulent, like perfectly like, decent. He's not the problem with this team, I guess. Like you could upgrade the quarterback position, but you could win a Super Bowl with a player like this, I think.
Yeah, and I've consistently said this, like people since he got here and I got the job, people have consistently asked me, can the Chiefs win a Super Bowl with Alex Smith? And I have consistently said what Blair just said, what Andy just said, what you guys have all just said. If you put the right team around him and he can get hot, with Andy Reid calling the plays primarily, yes. And I don't think anything we saw this year changes that. I think, if anything, it just reinforced it. Yeah. I think, and here's the thing, I think with you got some decisions to make in the offseason in regards to some defensive players, but at the end of the day, you're pretty close here. I mean, you're at this hump. Like you're at the hump here. And with a strong offseason, you can get over that hump. Like it's there. Like you can see the end, but you got to get over it. And sometimes that last bit is the hardest trek to kind of get over.
One thing about the Alex Smith sucks camp,
it's going quiet now though, but yeah,
for the most part. But I've got a few emails.
Did
sure
you
guys
really?
Did too.
Wow.
But and I thought he played pretty well in New England. But anyway,
he was.
If you say Alex Smith sucks and they need to upgrade there, then what's the solution? Like
they never have an answer.
Yeah, because the Packers aren't going to trade Aaron Rodgers for Alex. If they would, the Chiefs would do it in a heartbeat. But that's the thing. Like until there's a better solution until there's a better alternative. What are you going to do?
And, you know, in previous years, the answer is, we'll draft one. Well,
Who?
if you drafted Derek Carr, maybe you would have been – because Carr's good.
He is.
Now, Carr's good. But, like, I don't want Bridgewater over Alex Smith. You can make the case for Carr, though. Like, Carr is good. But, like, especially when they first got here, what, you want Matt Barkley? You want Geno Smith? You wanted to be on that train? No. And, you know, I think, you know, especially with this guy now, like, I think you can say it was the right decision. You know, you look at the Chiefs' record the last 3 years, it's been good, and that's because they've had a veteran quarterback that they've kind of been able to mold the offense around. And what they were trying to do was win when they first got here.
Right.
They had to come back win and, as you brilliantly put it, just restore civic pride, you know, and actually just competency.
Yeah.
just not be a sideshow.
Yeah.
Like that was the bar. Just not be a sideshow, you know? And
Well, how much of the chaos and shenanigans of the final 5 minutes was Alex Smith's responsibility to get things going? And I want to see more command from him in those moments than that he keeps looking for Andy, and the
That's a good point,
communication is
Kurt.
going slowly. And I think if you're a fan of a team, you want your quarterback up there in command and barking out a couple of
He should've-
cadences and then go.
in retrospect, he should have just said, "Screw this, I'm calling it something."
And what-
but
what
I'll
I-
also say
yeah.
this: I have no idea why the play wasn't in sooner.
Right.
Like, there was no reason for them to still be waiting for the play to be coming in, and look, like, there was no reason. Go ahead. The play should have been in.
All right, so
So this is my question about Andy Reid. Like, so it's a quick, like, you know. So I grew up in Philadelphia. I watched. I was a huge Eagles fan when I was a kid. I never actually. When they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, it was like a really sort of traumatic experience, them losing. And I've never watched highlights from it. So I don't really remember what happened in the game. So it was nice to see the game again on Saturday.
Right, you got to enjoy
Alex
that,
Smith
right.
didn't puke at the 50-yard line, so
Right.
that was
He was
an
in
interesting
shape.
touch.
Right.
Yeah, he was able to play a football game. So, like, Andy Reid is definitely a good football coach. Like, he's proved that in Philadelphia. He does a good job here. He does a really good job game planning. He seems like he fits his personnel well, et cetera, et cetera. Why is he so bad at this? Like, why is he so bad at time management? It's something that he's been doing now for almost 20 years as an NFL coach. How has he not gotten better at this?
There's something that was really interesting also, by the way, that I didn't process properly in the hustle and bustle after the game. But in his post game, Andy actually said something about what a great learning opportunity this is and all this. And he said, if you keep your eyes and ears open and really, allow yourself. And I remember thinking later when I was rereading that, it's like, well, this is exactly what he's talking about. How about yourself on this? How can that be a recurring thing for a guy who's got very few gaps in his game, really? But that just hasn't gotten any better, has it?
A guy who could coach almost any position on offense, is a respected play caller, all that. Here we are again at the end of the season talking about the time management, right? And I mean, I would just say a lot of people every coach has his flaws. And I think there were actually times this year where, like, Reid's clock management was better than, he's gotten credit for in the past. But then now here we are again, and it had to be a part of my game story. And it became at the worst part of the season, right? And look, I think that play not getting in before the 2-minute warning, that's on the staff. Like, have something dialed up and ready to go.
They got
what I mean?
one playoff between 2:55 and the 2-minute
that was
warning,
unacceptable.
and it was a run up the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that lost a yard.
yeah, and I just one of the there's so many different levels of like frustration with that, but one of them for me is the fact that I don't know if the numbers will back me up on this, but I think the Chiefs have been pretty good inside the 5-yard line, like with those real short passes that get touchdowns. It just seems to me they do a real good job of, whether it's screens or just quick hits or whatever, they do a really good job with that. And so to me, in the biggest situation of the season, you're there and you kind of revert to this completely dull and uncreative play that has the, double layered, kind of thing of being risky, because if he gets tackled before he gets in the end zone, the clock keeps going. That was
the risk
really
reward
baffling.
wasn't very calculated there, right? I mean, if he doesn't get in, you're losing 20 seconds at least.
Yeah, and look, like if they execute it the right way, and if Sarkandrick West scores, then it's a different thing. It's at 220 or whatever. But that's
the
not the way
benefit
it
of calling the timeout though, because I like running the ball. Like, run the ball. Like, this is what – because if they throw it and it gets intercepted, guess what? Everyone's calling you a moron like they did with Pete Carroll. Like, run the ball. But what you do, because you just drove all that way in that period of time, that's why you call the timeout. You let the offensive lineman catch their breath. And then if you run the ball and you don't get it, you get back, you're running again. Like, it's a yard. It's 2 yards. If you can't get the yard if you can't get the yard or 2 yards with 2 cracks – before the 2-minute warning, you don't deserve to get it.
Well, right.
You don't deserve it. But here's the thing, like some football strategy, everybody has their own thoughts. There's different approaches to it. The only way it's not going to become a thing is if you score. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to execute. That's the main thing.
What's the
Score
cutoff?
early, score soon.
What's the cutoff time on when you could kick away? In other words, if they had scored at 2:55, if Wilson had gotten in, mm-hmm. on that 19-yard pass,
which is a point I want to address.
Yeah,
when you're while we're talking about the clock management at the end, I think the players have to assume some responsibility here. I can remember a pass to Conley at the sideline where he chose to stay in bounds, and fight for an extra yard during this drive. That's another 30 seconds off the clock. Well, he instead of going out of bounds, he struggles to stay in. I liked Albert Wilson's effort at the 1, but. If you're not going to get it, if you're not going to get in, get out of bounds and stop the clock. That kept the clock going as well.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
So I think the players, Fish jumping,
right, the Fish jumping
offside. That put him back at the 7. So players have to know what to do in this situation as well.
I think
do your job. Do it the Patriots way. Know what you're supposed to do.
Do your job.
Do
your job. That's a great point, man. And kind of getting to the coaches too. Doug Peterson is going to be leaving. He's going to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sure Andy has some questions about that. But one thing to say, is that we're never really going to know, like exactly what happened there before then. But like leading up to that, Doug was like, he does play a role in the 2-minute drill too. So like the point of that is like, a lot of people can take responsibility for what happened at the end as far as the clock management stuff goes.
But Reed didn't come out and say, like, I screwed up at the 2-minute drill, like when our players were running. Because they got the ball with what, like 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left?
6:49 or
6:29.
And they weren't running a hurry up, right?
Well, he said they were.
In theory.
In theory. I mean, but in
it didn't
name.
look like it. Like they had huddles.
Well, there's 30 seconds between play, so is that doesn't
Well,
strike
for
me
most
as
of the
correct.
drive, they didn't have huddles, though.
Okay.
Right? Like, look, doesn't it say no huddle all the way down, basically?
No, you're right.
Okay.
But they did huddle up, like, on that one play, right? Like inside the
Yeah, when they got inside the goal zone, they did start.
It's just like I just don't understand like how no one from ownership or like Mike Holmgren or like someone in Andy Reid's life can't like grab him and shake him and just be like, hey man, like you should work on this, like because like he's a good coach and he's gotten better over the years and he's adapted with the times. It's just crazy that he has this sort of flaw that like anyone who played a lot of Madden 05 like in college like kind of understands the imperative of like time versus yardage and that's I don't know. It's a weird sort of hole in his game that like has not gotten definitively better in 10 years.
And as a Philly guy, Andy, how do you feel about a Reid guy being your next head coach?
Oh, it's great.
Peterson.
Well, I mean, Philadelphia suffered through the Chip Kelly, dictatorship. So I think the city's very happy to have anyone associated with Andy.
But Andy,
Reid.
isn't it kind of reflective of the because I grew up that area too. Doesn't it kind of reflect the whole just crazy pendulum of the Philly fan where now we got to get an Andy Reid guy back.
Yeah, it's like, yo, can we get Big Red back? No, he's coach of Chiefs. Yo, like who's underneath him? It's
Sam.
like, Doug Peterson. Yo, he was a bird. Bring him in. Let's go. Get B-Doc to run the defense, eh?
Sam,
Brian Dawkins.
You're the master of over and unders. How long will it take for the Philly media to start really getting after Doug Peterson? Like, what do you think?
What time was it when there was 2 minutes left on the clock Saturday night? Because I think that was the point.
That was
that was when it started.
Yeah, Doug. What are you doing?
Yeah, Doug.
Did he have his introductory press conference today? He's
having
probably
it
talking
today,
about it
yeah.
right now.
I'll say this: like, I went on freaking MLB Network today, and the first question was about the Chiefs' clock management. And,
Was
and
it really?
Yes.
Oh, my
and
God.
is Andy Reid being ripped enough? And I'm like,
Has anyone told MLB Network that Justin Upton is still a free agent? That's a story I'd
That's
be
number
sure
two.
they're talking
That's
about it.
number two.
I'm sure they're talking about an MLB Network. All they do on that network is have shows with 5 guys sitting around talking dude, with no
Who would ever
clips
want to pay
either.
attention to a show like that?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. To be fair, they're not watching it; they're listening, and there is a difference.
Stay on that treadmill.
Because the key to our podcast is you can listen when you're in your car, or when you're on the treadmill, or whenever. You're not watching it on television. It's important. But I'm just curious. We've all got to talk to Doug Peterson. What are your impressions of him, guys? And how big of a loss is this for the Chiefs?
I think he's, deserves the opportunity. God, I sound like Andy Reid.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to the challenge of coaching the Eagles. No, I mean, I think that he's a guy that should be a head coach. I think he's like sort of put in his time, and he's got the resume and everything like that. For the Chiefs, it's a loss, but it's not. I mean, this is what happens.
Yeah, they've got 4 guys on the staff.
Yeah,
that they could reasonably promote.
Yeah, I mean, they've got depth, and
None of them will call plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing air quotes. Around
Well, you've got
offensive
to
coordinator, so-
earn the right to just call a few like Doug did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
But here's
gonna
the
be a
question.
process.
There's a question for you, Terez. You probably know this better than any of us. So where does obviously on the play calling, there's some question about where Doug Peterson begins and Andy Reid ends, or vice versa. But what's the tangible stuff that you would point to, that you can point to as Doug Peterson's signature? The only thing I can say is he's pretty good with the media, which is
He is good. He's got a good way
a
about
rarity
him.
with the Chiefs.
He's got a good way about him. I think that's going to help him in that market. As a play caller, he is more aggressive than Andy Reid. I do believe that. I think he's going to take more shots downfield. I think he's learned from Andy. How to attack defenses, that kind of thing. He's helped put the game plans together. What I'll be interested to know is he going to run his own install meetings like Andy did? And that's basically where, every week, like Bill Walsh, like Mike Holmgren, you get up in front of your offense and you install the plays for that week. And you teach it. You go over the coaching points. It's rare for head coaches to do that. Andy Reid did that. I wonder if Doug would do that. My point is, like, Andy Reid obviously had a lot of control over the offense, even though Doug did earn more responsibility. And I think you do have to give him some credit for the Chiefs' offensive improvement over the last stretch of the season. I think he did play a role in that. And, they also mentioned every once in a while, when Doug would call plays, just here and there, it would help give the defense a different look because those two think differently. Even though they do have an understanding of what each other likes, they do think differently. So I think the honest to God answer, though, is that we'll see this year. We'll see, exactly, what kind of offensive mind he has.
You think he takes any other Chiefs assistants with him?
I don't know. I think when Andy Reid said yesterday that most of the staff will stay together, I believe that'd be the case. Now, you might see a few guys leave, but I think for the most part the staff will stay together, mainly because they all get along and they trust Andy Reid, and he's a very loyal guy. And, in football, where it's very difficult to find any kind of stability as a coach, you really value kind of having a leader, a guy who's good to work for, and that you've got some stability there. It's a pretty good situation here when you know the coach and you know the people. And I think a lot of those guys opt to stay here rather than go to, Philly, where
There's some
been
security here now.
Right.
There's security in Kansas
Right.
City.
Whereas you go to Philly, there's some unrest. They've set the standard now. You can get canned after a few seasons
Terez,
pretty easily.
with Peterson, will his experience with Andy make him inclined to call the plays even as the head coach?
I think so. I think he will call plays, but I don't know that.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
an interesting
that.
question for him.
I think he's eager to call plays.
Yeah.
That's why I think his offensive coordinator hire will be interesting. There's been a lot of talk about Frank Reich. Maybe I don't know what Doug's going to do, but I'd say this: I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a serious role in play calling because it's something he wants to do.
He had to go be a head coach so he can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's. I'd really be surprised about that.
Like the Frank Reich?
Yeah, the
Bills
Frank
one?
Reich. Yeah, the Bills Frank Reich.
35-3, Frank Reich.
35.
How many backup quarterbacks can one staff assemble?
Well,
Is Steve Bono available?
well. What if they get Chase Daniel to play quarterback for him too? So that's another backup quarterback.
Ooh, heard it here
How about that?
first.
Yeah. I'm just throwing that one out there because it would make sense for all those sides. Like Chase wants to be a starter somewhere, right? He's got experience with Doug Peterson, and Chase is a confident guy. He's not going to be scared to go there.
Contract's up.
Yeah,
He's
he's going
ready
to
to
be a
go.
starter for some bad team next year. It might as well be one that he's comfortable with.
It's actually a pretty good situation for him. No, I'm serious. It's a pretty good situation for him. So
Isn't it, Andy?
Is Eric Crouch not available? What other sort of Big 12 rejects can the Birds hire?
let's see. All right, guys. Just
Frank Reich, a Big 12 guy?
I don't know.
he went to Maryland.
Chase Daniels,
Yeah, he's a Maryland guy.
quarterback or whatever, right?
Oh, so you got one.
Wait, did you just call Chase Daniel an option quarterback? No.
No.
Most prolific passer in the fabled University of Missouri history.
Oh my. Jeez. Take that, Frank Haith.
He did. He had some. Yeah. Frank Reich, Frank Haith.
Yeah.
But Chase, I'd sure be intrigued to see Chase get a shot.
Yeah,
by the
that'd
way,
be
that's an
fun.
aside, but
That'd be fun.
I'd be very interested to see that.
Chase is confident too. Chase is a
Yeah.
real confident
He's
guy.
got a starter's confidence.
Chase is ready to go.
I'll tell you what. The one was it. Did he play a second game? I guess he did. Chargers game 2 years ago. I thought that was against the Chargers team trying to get in the playoffs. That wasn't their backups. I thought he was pretty.
He's
darn
had
good.
some nice moments as a Chief,
Yeah.
even if it's just a preseason. In the 2 games he started, he played well.
Both,
I'm interested to see
both
what he
against
can
the
do.
Chargers.
Both. That's right.
Season,
When
season-ending
Alex was hurt.
games.
Yeah.
And when I've talked to him, I think he's got a good way about him. He's
He
a
does,
confident
he
guy,
does.
confident demeanor. He's had what I think 4 years under Sean Payton and 3 under Andy Reid. That's not a bad apprenticeship.
And
so.
for what it's worth, and not a whole lot, he was terrific in the preseason
Right.
this year.
Every year he has been. He's got like a 97% completion rate in the
Right.
preseason, and again, it's the only time he ever gets to play.
Right.
Right.
But I'd like to see that.
So just real quick, guys, how far did we discussed this a little bit on our last video, but like, how far do the Chiefs need to get next year for that to be considered a success? Let's start with Blair, real quick.
The Chiefs have never hosted an AFC or AFL championship game, ever. So I would say you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone by being the top seed
All right.
or be 1 versus 1 or 2, get a first-round bye, get to the AFC championship game.
You guys agree with that?
I like that. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's a
don't-
good standard to look for.
I don't think it has to be at Arrowhead. I don't think.
I think
maybe
it
that's not
I'm
what you're
just
saying.
saying,
I agree.
It's never been
Just get
or
there.
municipal.
Yeah.
But get to an AFC championship.
Step more in what you did.
I would be very impressed if they hosted the AFL championship game. That would take a lot of work, both
And
on
time
the
travel.
field and
Yeah.
off the field, to get that done.
Okay, so let's jump ahead here. Let's say next year they lose in the divisional round again. Sam, what are you writing about? Big picture.
I mean, it depends on how they get there. But yeah, ripping the clock management from January 2016. It would depend on how they get there. But if in the big picture, that's a stall. Like you haven't gone forward.
Would you agree, Va?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, here's the thing, though. I think you can take 3-4 years of this kind of thing where you're saying, you got traction, you're stabilizing, this is who you are every year, and you got a chance. But after that, then you start getting sick of it, right?
I kind of feel like the window is next year and the year after. Yeah. I kind of feel like that's the window.
Well, there's no history with this coach of reaching a certain level and just staying there for a few years, is there?
Wow, Blair.
Let me tell you about my high school years, Blair. Well, I mean, look, you've got a good coach. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a good defense. They've got a good team. If they don't win the Super Bowl, the season's a failure.
Boom.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all right.
I mean, you can.
Look, that's what you play for, and you think you got the goods.
Yeah. All right.
Look, is there any scenario here that this is a false Royals construct, but dude, Terez, let me get away from the Royals thing. Let me take one step back. But Terez, you alluded to this in what you wrote the other day, and you certainly alluded to it in the video we did. Does the history show that you have to walk before you run a little bit? How often does a team come out of not being in the playoffs the year before and winning the Super Bowl? And how often is it a little 1 step up, 2 step back?
I think it's worth, like a solid, just like a solid study as far as putting something together and doing that kind of research. But, like, I'm just telling you, I've been watching football 15 years. Like, there aren't a lot of teams that don't have those kind of heartbreaks. You know what I'm saying? And
intermediary
it's hard to pull a 99 Rams and just go from bad to a Super Bowl title.
That might be the last team that kind of did that. Is that right? Or is there something we're not thinking of?
The Patriots did it.
Patriots weren't a great team.
No, that's right. That's when they came
The
out.
Cardinals came out of nowhere and got to a Super
Right.
Bowl.
But they were
Yeah.
9
That
and
was a
7
9
in
and
the regular
17.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you just kind of got to build to it.
And
Didn't
then the Chiefs hired their offensive coordinator. Sorry.
Didn't the Ravens too? The Ravens had a bunch of playoff losses that kind of hardened them a little bit. And the Patriots had playoff losses that hardened them. Seahawks did too. They lost to the Falcons, I think, before their Super Bowl run. So, yeah, man. I mean, sometimes you just got to build to it. And just so we can wrap up this conversation on this game, anything else that stuck out to you guys about this game you want to address? Is there anything that we didn't cover that?
I know we're spending a lot of time on the game.
Well,
and
we
it's-
should.
Does it? I think I may be the only one who is convinced that the game turned. The game turned when it was 7-3, and Frankie Hammond returns a punt
Yeah.
to the 36. I think it was the 36, and the first play. I hated this wide receiver screen.
Was
It was the wide receiver screen. That's right.
It was the tight end screen to
to
Kelsey that we've
the
only
little-
seen 55
Yeah, look,
times.
every one of
You
us in the
turned,
press
you turned to
box
me in
knew
the
that
press
was the
box
play.
and
Yeah.
said, "The Browns stopped that."
Well, you think Bill Belichick's not going to have – Ernie Adams has seen that. Like,
Yeah.
you really think Ernie Adams hasn't seen that? He saw the thing that the Seahawks tried to run.
And not
in the
just-
Super Bowl.
Coming over the headset.
Nice.
Oh!
And not just that, they take over at the 36 and they need, 5 yards
For
for
a field goal. Right.
They get -1 instead. Punt.
That's
The
Cheap
the
shot on
98
Fleming,
yard. Yeah.
and then 98 yards for a touchdown. So the Patriots got 7 more points out of a drive that started on their own 2 than the Chiefs got on the Patriots 36.
And look, Blair, that also spoke to the
Not what you
the
want.
point you were really making. It's really true. I mean, I don't know what the margin there is where you can go for it and decide to go for it on 4th down in the other team's territory. But if you're going to come out bold and punching, that's the place to assert yourself. And we were kind of joking about it after the game. Great to play the field position game, but it really doesn't matter where you started if the team goes 98 yards. I mean,
Yeah.
And
that's when the game.
sequence
That's
was
when the
horrible.
feel of the
Yeah.
game changed for
Yeah.
me. Because Patriots go down the field on the first possession, score. The Chiefs answer that with a field goal, and then they exchange punts.
Yep.
And that's when they exchange the punt when New England, started the 2. By the way, I thought I'll give credit where credit's due. Mike Vaccaro, our friend, who's the columnist now at the New York Post, put this tweet out after the Amendola hit. The Patriots were penalized 2 yards for that play, and his tweet was they should tack on the penalty on the other side, make it 1st and 25 from the 4.
I
instead of-
love that idea.
I love
Yeah,
that too.
yeah, I think that's right. I think
Like,
that's,
give the team the option.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I love that idea. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
a great idea. All right, guys, let's wrapped up our talk about this last game, and so it's time to get to the gimmicks portion of the show. It's great.
Need some gimmicks portion of the show music. I think.
Inspector
Yeah.
Gadget. That's it.
I like that. That's a good idea. That's something to keep an eye on. First one, of course, is a scouting term of the week. And this week's term is burp the baby. This one's courtesy of Mike Mayock. What does it mean, and what position does it apply to?
Like the masseuse? I have no idea. Like,
This is something happens on the
So
field.
this is
what
a
you're
guy
saying?
that-
Okay.
so the term would. I'm sorry.
No, you go, yeah.
The term would be like that guy can really burp the baby. Like that's how. Can you use it in a sentence?
I can use it in a sentence. All right.
It's the country of origin.
Yeah. Boy. Here you go. Boy, that Tyler Palco really burps the baby a lot.
Well, it's Tyler Palco, so it's some sort of screw up.
It's like happy feet related.
Nope.
Fumbles.
Nope.
Dang it! Felt good about
Burps
fumbles.
the baby.
Checkdowns.
Nope.
It's not just hands the ball off a lot because he can't pass. Okay.
Got nothing.
All right. It's when a quarterback taps his hand on the football too long and throws late,
Oh.
allowing a defensive back to jump the
I
route.
I like it.
Beautiful.
Really good, actually. That's
I do like it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Shout out to,
Mackie Sasser for you, Andy, the baseball image, or Steve Sachs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
shout out to
Wow.
Mike Mayock for that one. That was a good one.
And do you as you guys think about this, do you picture Tyler Palco doing that? Was that
can't
just an
remember.
example out of the blue?
It's
Terez?
Oh yeah, I just remember him burping the baby all the time. That's what he did. That's what he was known for, burping the baby.
Does Andy know the card carrying coward one? He wasn't around for that.
Do you know that card carrying coward? You know what that is?
Besides Sam?
Oh, got him! Got him!
Just low-hanging fruit. Wait, what is a card-carrying coward?
That's for you to answer.
Can you guess what it is?
What position
I mean,
would that?
I would... A cornerback?
No.
Guy who shies
So,
away
you
from
guys-
contact?
I think that's what.
That's what, yeah. No, it's a receiver who doesn't like going over the middle.
Oh,
Scared
yeah,
to
yeah.
take the
We
blow.
can talk about him in old man football.
Yeah. All right, next segment. I'm sure you guys love to get this one over with as soon as possible. Who he play for? Where I name a player and you guys try to guess who he play for. And this got 3 this week. All right, so let's try to get 1. The first one, Kurt Coleman. Guys, safety. Kurt Coleman, who was a Chief last year.
Cardinals.
Who he play for?
No.
Is the team still playing?
Who he play for?
My default team at the Falcons. Everybody played for the Falcons.
Redskins.
Got to give me a guess, Vi.
Toronto Argonauts.
The Panthers. He plays for the Panthers. He's had a really nice season. He's got 8 interceptions.
Was he like
this
all
year.
over the field yesterday? Like I didn't even.
Yeah, he's had a nice
Oh,
season.
that Coleman. Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, there was a mix up there. Huh? Okay, all right.
Yeah, mix up.
Yep. All right. Defensive tackle, Kyle Love. Guys, who he play for?
I don't remember Kyle Love with the Chiefs.
He was a Chief last year.
Last
I
year.
was gonna say Cavaliers, right?
Beach Boys?
Texans.
I give you a hint. It's one of the teams still playing.
Cardinals.
Nope.
Patriots.
Nope. He was a former Patriot though.
That's what I meant.
I got 2 more guesses left. Come on, guys.
teams left.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Nope. Jesus Christ.
I got it. That would be the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh God, no!
Oh, they're not. Except they're not playing. Oh. Damn.
Oh God.
Who's in the NFC?
Panthers.
Panthers. The Panthers.
He's Kurt Coleman's teammate.
Who he play for? Who we talking
I
about?
got it.
I got it. I got this. I got this. Matt Blair.
God, we're just 0 for
The guy
13.
missed the field goal. Matt Blair. Right?
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, mercy.
0 for 13. Last one of this year, guys. Let's try and get it.
Cardinals. Sorry.
Vance Walker, who played for the Chiefs last year.
I do
He
remember
plays
Vance
for one of the
Walker.
4 teams. Guys, who he play for?
There's 4 of us.
Yeah.
I'm sitting.
Cardinals.
I'm sitting this one out.
Blair, you've been humbled by that last one.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm just out of respect to Blair. I'm
The
not going to
Chiefs,
indulge you on
the
that
Chiefs
either.
played him this season.
Broncos.
Yes.
All right.
That's going to bring it in who he played for. Mercifully.
Nailed it.
Oh, God.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, boy. All right. Now it's time
Almost had that.
for everyone's favorite segment. This is our Old Man Football segment brought to you by... Thought it was fitting since they just played it.
I'm still waiting for the high karate.
Gillette
commercial.
Stadium.
If we're still looking to sponsor this studio, the Royals apparently have $70 million lying around.
I know, just
so
waiting there.
have we? So they just found that somewhere under a mattress to give a 5th starter.
You're
So-
not Just real quick, are you guys going to address the Kennedy thing at some point? Just in a
Probably.
podcast, probably? All right. He's good, though, right? Like, this
No.
dude, this guy's, like, really good, right? Like,
Was this podcast recorded in 2012? No, he's got good, like,
is he just a guy?
he's not even a guy for me.
Wow.
He's like a 4th, 5th starter type. Yeah.
Wow.
But they think with his stuff, Dave Island, ballpark, he'll be reasonable. I don't know.
He strikes people out.
He
at
has
a
in
good
the
clip.
past. Yeah. He also gives up home runs,
Ooh.
doubles,
But he-
singles.
He should be better here, though, because of the park, right?
Well, he was playing in Petco last year, which is
Oh, really? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's not my problem.
Quickly, do they see him as a number 2 guy? Like, is
As
that-
a number 2 guy,
Then why did they give him $14 million per year?
Baseball, like the money.
baseball
it's all
doesn't make
fake.
sense. Yeah, money
Yeah.
like
the money's.
So they're not signing him to be the number. What is he? Where's he fitting into the rotation?
like
I mean,
third.
Andy thinks that like nobody since Sandy Koufax has ever been a 1. So
Well, okay, if your argument is Ian Kennedy's a 1,
no, not even close. But I'm
Ian
saying
Kennedy's
like
a
you're.
4 or a 5.
I would say like a 3 or 4.
A 3?
or a 4.
Okay,
We're gonna let this
that's
ride.
4
Go.
or
Okay,
a
so
5.
he's a 4. So I don't know. He's not terrible. He strikes out a lot of guys. He's a good candidate to get better because of the ballpark and because Petco's
say the
big.
ballpark. You can't-
Petco's big, but they have the worst outfield defense.
Okay.
Like in baseball.
You could say because of the defense, not because of the ballpark.
The ballpark stays the same. It doesn't get smaller. and the defense gets a lot better. If the home run rate normalizes, then he can
Well,
be
that's true. Once he gets to pitch without the marine layer in San Diego, that'll help.
then he can be like, I don't know. He's not great.
It's not our money, so
Yeah.
who cares?
They needed
they
some
can
depth.
afford it. They can afford it, but
they
it's
needed
just kinda,
depth.
What was the alternative?
Danny Duffy, Doug Fister on like a 2-year deal. Giovanni Gallardo's still out there. He's a better pitcher. Kyle Zimmer.
I guess the thing that would concern me then, if you don't think he's that good, why would you spend that kind of money on him if you know that you might still need pitching help
Well,
this year, right?
I mean, they've liked him from a scouting perspective for a long time. They tried to trade for him in 2014.
Okay.
I think if they had struck out on Cueto, they would have pursued him a little bit stronger this summer.
Do you
So-
think? And last thing about this, but seriously, but do you think? But seriously, like, do you think this move would like preclude them from adding another top level Cueto-esque pitcher this year? Or is
Well,
that
they
just
would
not
do.
even-
They wouldn't do that with money. They would do
Okay.
that with prospects. But
But I mean, you need money to. The budget is what the budget is, right? I mean,
Well, no. I mean, they spent money. No, wait, I'm trying to remember. How do I phrase this? They did not spend money to pay for Zobrist or Cueto.
Okay.
They paid the price in prospects. Like they actually got money back in both those deals.
oh really? So you can do that? Okay.
So,
all right.
so they can get a deal done for a pitcher in a trade, but it would cost them. It costs you bodies, not cash.
Okay. All right.
Which, like, last thing, they
Dude,
spent
Chiefs fans have already moved on.
they
It's
spent a
playoff
lot of their
season, yeah.
prospect capital last year bringing those guys
Yeah.
in, so they're short on. I'm thinking that might be part of their thinking process here. We have to sign somebody because our prospect list is thin enough that we can't afford to trade him.
Was that 5 guys, 5 arms?
But yeah, I think
last
Lorenzo
year?
Cain can play wide receiver, and
All right, just a quick reminder of what Old Man Football is. All we do is we go around the room, and anything we just gripe or wax poetic about the way things used to be. Anything is acceptable as long as it's general or has something to do with football. In
Oh, I
some
forgot
sort of
it had
way.
to do something with football.
Yeah, it,
Okay.
not
All right.
really.
Okay.
Just
All right.
knock yourself out. We're gunning for amusement here. So I started with Blair. I've started with Sam. I want to hear from Vahe. My man, give me your Old Man Football take.
Well, here's the thing. It really doesn't have anything to do with football. Football made me think of it, but
No, that counts. Let's go. By
David
proxy.
Bowie died last week, and today I went through some vinyl and found a 45 of Heroes, and I have a turntable. And that's really really as far as my thinking got on this. I thought I'd be able to riff off of that a little more, but really that's so vinyl was good. And but the bad part is that the turntable wouldn't play it this morning, so I had this whole presentation ready to send out on Facebook, and it just backfired. So that's all. You see how I'm weaving together modern images
trying to,
and old stuff, but I got nothing, and that's what happens. You keep talking when you got nothing. So
Does your turntable have the different speeds?
it does. 30, yes, and I did correct it for the speeds, but something was going hopelessly wrong.
what's a turntable? I don't know what that is.
Much less speeds for the right.
Speeds, but I'll tell you what, I am really proud of my 45s.
Huh?
I got everything from those are called singles,
right.
and I got everything from
Was this
Sugar
before or
Sugar by
after
the Archies
8-track?
to before 8-track.
Wait, you
This
have,
is
you have
before
a
8-track.
single version of Heroes?
I do.
What's the B-side?
It's something called V2 Schneider or something. A song I've never
That's
played.
that's on the record. Yeah,
Is that on the
I
record?
think that's on the record.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But it's I'll pass you my picture of it while we're talking.
Andy, what do you got for us, baby?
I also tried to use my turntable to play Bowie. No, that's not true. I don't know.
I'm sure something has annoyed you this weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tons of things annoy me.
There's something. There's a commercial taken there somewhere.
I kind of used all my bullets last week just watching the NFL. Like I don't know what's legal and what's illegal. Like I don't understand why.
Ooh, this is
You
good.
can't-
This is good. I know where you're going.
You can't like fall on a guy. You know, like that's like 15 yards. If you like, I saw like BJ Raji like coming in like a second late, fell on a guy, and like that was like 15 yards. And Amendola like almost committed homicide, and that was only 15 yards. It's like, what is the, like Larry Fitzgerald threw a relatively weak crackback block, like didn't even lead with his head or like hit the guy particularly hard, and like. The guy who plays Darren Sharper's position, but definitely isn't Darren Sharper, like fell down like he had been shot, and that was 15 yards. I'm just like, what? You can't like think about how like hard it would be to knock a quarterback out of the game.
oh yeah.
Like how much work you would have to do to legally knock a quarterback out of the game. Like it doesn't seem possible to legally injure a quarterback anymore, right?
Right. There's like certain places you can hit. the
Vaguely
guy.
reminiscent of your riff last
This
week.
is my
about
thing.
what
This
he
is the
said.
problem
Wanting
with
more. He
football.
can't-
It's
yeah.
like,
I thought you were going to talk about like what's the catch anymore. That's what I was hoping.
well,
you were gonna do.
okay. Here it is. I figured out what it is. Replay.
Yeah.
Replay, and this is not a take unique to football because I think baseball has the same problem. Replay, at least the way I understand it, was designed to correct wrongs, like blatantly wrong calls, like when Jerry Rice fumbled in that game against the Packers in '98, right? And like,
You really are a time capsule.
I know. And Terrell Owens caught the touchdown, like that was like why replay was put in to like
In week
correct
12.
wrongs. Another thing about covering the Big Eight, we used to get on the charter. We would fly and cover SMU. But replay is no longer, it seems, devised to correct wrongs, but it's to like it's to change plays based on things that no human could see. Like, when Paul Janish or whatever that guy from the Packers caught that ball like in the end zone, and it seemed like Jeff Janish, yeah. Seemed like that ball like kind of touched the ground. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, no, that's a catch.
Right.
Like that's a catch. It
They're
looks like
making
a
it
catch.
harder than it has to be.
Yeah, it's like correcting
that
things.
hard, right.
Like the ticky tack. Like it happens in baseball all the time with like, bang bang plays where they change it not because it's definitively wrong, but because it's just stuff like that where it's slow. The game is so slow. Everything gets replayed. There's all these commercials. Like it's just miserable.
The
to
NFL
watch.
is just famous for the touch. What is it? The touchdown, extra point, timeout, kickoff,
timeout.
That's the
hate that
worst.
Run
sequence.
2 plays, 2-minute
the
warning.
worst.
It's like, why am I doing this? Like,
Yeah.
this sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know who any of these players are.
This just in this weekend set all kinds of ratings records. So
So the NFL is just going to continue
it's
to
just
be
terrible. It's
they're
awful.
just going to continue.
What a
to-
product.
Unwatchable.
My only rant's going to be I long for the days of football before the Seattle Seahawks and Carolina Panthers were part of the league because I'm terribly confused by teams and these off colors and logos, and I miss the old helmets.
That's great. That's amazing. That's really Blair's the winner. Go ahead.
I have, this may be a first in the history of the world, the first old man football praise. I have an old man football hero, and his name is Ron Rivera, and he coaches the Carolina Panthers. Because not but a week or two ago, my old man football rant was about those stupid freaking hoverboards and how they're not really hoverboards because they have wheels. Ron Rivera has banned hoverboards by the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
He says, have you seen those things on YouTube blowing up? I mean, that's what concerns me more than anything else. What if something crazy happens? I will say this, too. I caught them drag racing in the freaking hallway one time, too. So Ron Rivera, standing ovation. You are a hero of old man football. Yeah.
You know who Ron Rivera was coached by in the 80s?
Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka.
M. Buddy Ryan. So he was actually coached by Buddy Ryan because he played on the defense. Ditka didn't talk to the offense. I've been reading lots about the 85 Bears randomly.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, Buddy Ryan either addressed you in two ways. You were either a number or an adjective. Good for Buddy Ryan.
Mine's pretty quick and not, terribly critical, but I just thought it was real funny when I was standing on the field before the game, and just of all places for me to hear Public Enemy's "Can't Trust It." I'm standing on the field, I'm talking to people, and then just out of nowhere, here come the drums, confusion. And I'm like, the Patriots are just blasting "Can't Trust It," just at the loudest decibel level ever. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Here come the drums. Here come the drums. It was the best. Of all the places for them to play "Can't Trust It," it wouldn't be Gillette Stadium, right?
But you're hitting on something really important in old man football here, which is the false, inflated, just exaggerated noise in the stadium. Can we just have a game?
I actually enjoyed the "Can't Trust It." I love every part of the "Can't Trust It."
Also, Flavor Flav made an appearance after the game on Twitter when people were like, "We found Andy Reid's clock management guy." And it was Flavor Flav with this big ass clock. It was great.
I have a question for you guys. Actually, it's sorry, I don't mean to hijack this. I know we're really on point right now.
We actually are, but
yeah. Where would you rank Bill Belichick right now among Major League Baseball managers if he had to be a manager tomorrow? Oh, man. I think he might be top 10.
I was just going to say top 10.
Because he would come in prepared.
Yep.
They would have some edges. They would have some
Toronto Blue Jays-like advantages.
They'd be hitting a lot of home runs at home. They'd be slugging at home. You could believe that.
Stealing signs.
Yeah, a man in white.
Yeah. Man in white.
Yeah.
His name's Ernie. But I don't know. Belichick would be. I think he'd be top 10.
Well, just because he's competent. You just know that there would be thought put into every decision.
Yeah.
He will have planned out every decision.
Yep.
If he didn't know something, he'd hire people who could do it.
Right.
He'd let them do their jobs.
Yep.
I mean, you could have – just a competent, smart person who adjusts and learns. I mean – top 7? I mean, I'm not even. I'm serious. I mean, I'm serious.
He's in the playoffs every year, that's for sure.
I'm serious. I'd have a lot of confidence. He could come in. He'd make it work. I really believe he would.
The best part about this too would be that he'd be required to talk to the media twice a day.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be so
At least
great.
twice a day.
That'd be so great.
Oh god. The
He'd also
reporters
have to wear-
asking about the starters.
These
the
old,
starting pitcher
the
the
old
next
ball
one.
riders that are used to just having beers with the
Putting
manager.
your feet up on his desk. And
That would be
he's
so
sitting there
great.
having to wear those tight pants. It's like,
Oh yeah, that's the part. Picture him in the uniform.
But he could wear. But
He wears
during,
hoodie though.
During the playoffs, so a lot of the coaches wear the hoodies. They don't even
Yeah,
wear their
yeah.
uniform tops. So it could work.
That's a
I don't
fit,
know.
yeah.
I'd hire him.
Yeah, that's
I think
a great
the Browns
question.
I think you could easily explain the black eye. And baseball happens all the time, right? Those are stray balls,
Did we ever get that explanation?
No.
Great. That's what it was. What happened to your eye? And he said, "Great."
Wait,
There was no
hold on.
explanation given,
So
by the way.
that
We
was,
just
and
never-
there was no seriously. There's no follow up.
Bill, just a follow up.
No, there was. I think they asked.
I just
he
saw
just
it on
deflected
Vine,
them
so I
all.
don't know. It wasn't long enough for a follow.
Bill, would you like to talk about your eye, Chandler Jones, or your eye? You pick. Just give us something to write today.
Man.
I love Belichick. He's great.
Yeah,
He's
he
so
is.
good.
All right, guys. Reader mail portion of the show. We've got a few to get through. So let's crank them on out here. First one's from Paulie DeSantis, 25. I don't see Albert Wilson, or Chris Conley as number 2s personally. Do you see the Chiefs attacking free agency with a receiver or drafting someone else to get the booster position or get a number 2? I'll just say this. They drafted Chris Conley in the 3rd round for a reason, and Albert Wilson played ahead of him almost all year for a reason. I think they like both those guys. It takes a while to learn this offense. Whether you like it or not, they're probably one of those guys will probably be your number 2 and your number 3 next year. Whether they add a guy in free agency, maybe, but it won't be a big name guy. And I'd be a little surprised if it's a big money guy or even a medium money guy. I think that's a position they like to develop. But they could draft a guy. You never know. Just depends on who is there. That's my take.
Yeah, well, not to like hijack. I'm sure this is something we'll
Yeah,
talk
go ahead.
about later.
It's okay.
But,
Just go.
I do think they could use another playmaker, and whether
Mm-hmm.
that means that Chris Conley becomes a playmaker, then that'd be great. But I just don't know how much flexibility they're going to have in free agency. And I need to look at the numbers or talk to people that know the numbers. But they've got a long list of really important guys who are free agents, and I just don't know that there's going to be room for another playmaker on offense.
Go ahead.
All right. So, I've talked to a guy. I've talked to Joel Corey, obviously, who's great and really knows his stuff. And because of that, shout out to you. Thank you, Joel. Just in general, just for helping. Look, so he projects that the Chiefs to have about $33 million to spend in the cap, but we also know that they've got Derek Johnson, Tom Bahali, Eric Berry, and we'll touch on a little bit of that later. But they are defensive guys. But in general, yes, it is conceivable they can re-sign all those guys and still have about $19 million left to spend or $18 million left to spend in free agency. So like there's money. Like it's not a lot of money in it. Believe it or not, that's not like a lot of money in free agency to spend. But that is more than enough to add 1 or 2 guys to the mix here if you really and bring back the key guys you really want to do. Like that's enough if you get creative. Go ahead.
It's just probably a conversation in itself, but what are we expecting DeAnthony Thomas back?
That's the thing. We don't know. We're
yeah.
all asking and we're all digging. We're all, but we don't know, and that's the thing. It's a personal matter. They've said multiple times.
Just for devil's advocacy's sake, if they have him back, does he, in another year of experience and those other guys, I'm big on Conley.
Shane,
does that all start to make something that works?
Well, Shane Bishop. That was actually the next question from him. So we might as well just get to that. Yes. Like if I like the receiving group they have now. If you add one more piece to it, you're pretty good. One guy who's a free agent that I like, but probably is gonna make more elsewhere, maybe, I don't know, is Jermaine Kearse from the Seahawks. Just kind of a big guy in a West Coast system. He could give them a physical element they don't have. He's a big guy, right? He can make tough catches. I kind of like him. I just don't know if that's a priority for them but we'll get to that a little bit in our, hopefully we'll have a free agency podcast and we'll discuss that a little. But Blair, you checking in on Wilson or Conley? Where are you at? You trust him?
I'm riding with him.
You're riding with him.
I wanted to see just a little more from Conley this year.
Just a little
more. Just a little more.
He flashed a little though. Don't give up on Chris Conley. Chris Conley's going to be a good player in this league.
Let me tell you something else too that I learned in the course of talking to a couple people last week. It's probably stuff you guys have known for a long time, but I have the distinct understanding that the guys are coming out of Georgia a little underdeveloped.
Ooh,
during
really?
that time, and not necessarily they weren't getting coached up, but maybe Chris Conley was being asked to spend a lot more time blocking than exploiting his talents, or there's a theory between Todd Gurley and Conley that people were surprised that they weren't farther along in their immediate understandings of things.
So it's their comprehension of football concepts.
A little bit of
That's really
sort of experience they
Well,
have.
See, that's what you guys listen to this for. That's great.
that might
info.
explain why Georgia has been a chronic underachiever relative
that's
to the
right.
number of players it puts in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know what those numbers are, but there's a lot of NFL guys there now, and you're right, Blair. I mean, I think there's some.
They
thought
certainly have
to
that reputation. Georgia has that reputation.
You got this since player development is an issue there?
Or at least what they focused on in terms of player
They
development,
keep it
right?
simple? I mean, it's just,
I
that's
think
interesting.
that was the implication.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is it too late to add to shame Mark Richt? Blame him. Blame Vince Dooley. Blame all of them.
That's pretty good. Let's see. All right, this was from Larry McCammon. Will the Chiefs run their offense in 2016 with Jamal Charles the same way they did after his injury in 2015. That's pretty interesting. My hunch, probably not. They like to find different ways to get Jamal Charles the ball. And it was a pretty simplistic offense without him, even though it worked. I like that. I like having a physical run game, right? Like that's that other teams know is coming, that players can master. Like I like that, but Andy Reid, believes in his ability to out-scheme people. So yeah, when Jamal's back, he's gonna be lining up receiver, and they'll do all kinds of stuff with him. But I do think it'd be in their best interest to really, really take some of the good stuff they've done the last 3 months and not lose that. Yeah. Use the stuff this line is good at. And that's that power blocking, the gap blocking, man scheme, double at the point, like traps, pulls, that kind of stuff. Like stay with that. They're good at it.
Well, the short answer is they better not run it the same with Jamal Charles as they do without. That's the basic thing about coaching, right? Like you coach to the talent that you have. And but I couldn't agree with you more about don't lose the things that worked. But it's better to have. We talked a lot about how the offense, the whole team picked up after Jamal Charles got hurt, and they averaged more yards per carry and all that stuff. But having Jamal Charles is a lot better than not having Jamal Charles. Right. So, make that an improvement, but it doesn't mean you have to rewrite everything.
The only thing I'd say is I do wonder sometimes if this is a little separate, but basically along the same lines, you kind of underappreciate their adjustment after Jamal Charles. Yeah. I mean, Jamal Charles is out. That's one of their 2 best 3 players.
There are coaching staffs in this league that would have absolutely tanked after that.
Yeah.
This is what I have no clue how to adjust. But
that was really all on that, yeah.
Next question is from Pete Gradoff.
Hey, Pete.
It is for Andy McCullough. Would you rather have another season with Chip Kelly as the Eagles coach, or have to listen to Vampire Weekend for 3 hours every Sunday for 16 weeks in a row?
Wow.
I have no idea who Vampire Weekend is.
They're a band that I don't like that are critically acclaimed. I would say I'd rather take Chip Kelly as head coach because I just haven't paid attention for the last 2 years or 10 years. So, yeah, I definitely, because Vampire Weekend stinks.
It's Pete's band.
Pete likes them?
Yeah.
Well,
those are his guys.
There's no
those
accounting
are his
for
guys.
Those are his guys.
Yeah.
You like identifying the guys and people, by the way. Sam's real big on identifying people's guys.
Who's everybody's guy on this team? Who's your guy?
Officer Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Officer Lawrence. Somebody take over for a second.
A little in-house humor.
Terez got a warning today. We're celebrating.
Shout out to him.
That's too tough one to answer on the cuff. We'll come back.
Well, you know what? We'll save that. Let's save that because I do want to answer that. But let's save that. Next one's from Casey Chiefs _58, who's had a reputation for getting his questions answered because he keeps bringing the heat with him. Okay, between DJ, Hallie, Howard, and Sean Smith, who do you see the Chiefs keeping? I'm assuming Barry is a given. Real quick, guys, what do you think about those
Who
guys?
are the ones they listed?
DJ, Hallie, Howard, and Sean Smith.
And so this is who will they keep?
Yeah, I think it's DJ and Hallie.
Yeah, I think Smith might be too expensive.
Howard, too.
Yeah, and both those guys strike me as I think they want to get paid.
I do know. I can tell you. I talked to both of them. They say the right things, and I truly believe Howard wants to stay, but they need to get paid.
Yeah.
And remember, Sean hit the market at 26, I think, and didn't get a whole lot of money by comparison. Compared to what Byron Maxwell got, again, shout out to Joe Corey for pointing this out, but compared to what Maxwell got, he's not taking any hometown discount after hitting the market at a bad time for a corner. He's going to want to get paid. So it's going to be tough, even though they could afford it if they wanted. Guys, who?
My only question is, how much does Tamba have left? And how much of a contract do they have to give him? I'm just fumbling around on that. I have no idea.
I think he wants to be here a lot, and I don't think it's going to be restrictive. whatever he wants. As long as he wants to play, it's worth having him back, even if he isn't the same guy. But I don't think he'll come back if he feels like he can't do better than he did this year. So
that was some interesting stuff, by the way, on the video that you had with him from.
Yeah,
that was good.
He loves his team. He loves his teammates. He loves being here. He's gonna be a Chief if he plays. The question for him is, does he want to put his body through that again? Because it wasn't the thing about Tom is that it wasn't just his bulky left knee. It was his other knee was giving him problems. So it's like both knees now. And we'll get to that a little later. Hopefully we'll
practice all year.
Right.
Never practice. So,
right. I mean, hopefully we can dive in this in our
Yeah.
free agency podcast that's coming up. But I would say, Halle and DJ will be back. And if you guys got anything to – okay. Next one from David Van Zant. Who are the key players to be re-signed in 2016? We've kind of covered that a little bit. And is this young offensive line good enough to win the division next year? I'm kind of curious to know what you guys thought of this line. Does it depend on if Jeff Allen comes back or not?
I was going to say that, of the names that you mentioned in the previous question, he was asking about defensive players specifically. And some of the speculation I've already started to see about Jeff Allen, and like you said, we'll talk about it in a different podcast. He's important. I think he's important. I think he brings something to this offensive line that the others don't in terms of an attitude and approach. So I think he needs to be part of this team's future. But having said that, I thought one of the great victories of this team this year was the way the offensive line improved throughout the season, and the versatility and flexibility of this offensive line is was amazing. How many of their 7 or 8 guys ended up playing 2, and sometimes in the case of Zach Fulton, 3 different positions in a game during the season? I was amazed by that.
Yeah, they did do a hell of a job at that. Sammy, what you got?
Well, the only thing I'll add, and I think, Terez, that you pointed this out as well in something you wrote recently, but Jeff Allen, I think we all are in agreement that he's one of the ones you'd like to keep, but that is not this leadership group's thing. They've kind of let guys go, and maybe they make an exception for Allen and don't for Donald Stevenson, who I think is also a free agent. I don't know, but that's an interesting thing to watch, because their thing has been find cheap pieces on the offensive line, and with the exception of they spent a 1-1 obviously on Eric Fisher, but that would be against character for them to give Jeff Allen a big contract.
I'm in between where Blair and Sam are on this. I do think of Jeff Allen as kind of the linchpin of that line because of the stuff Blair said, the kind of the attitude and the edge, and I wonder how much that trumps everything else to some degree if they see it that way and recognize that he sets a bit of a tone for a group that's been coming along but has been kind of fragmented and needs some stability.
I agree, man. But what was their record with him in the lineup, though? Didn't they go like 11-1 or something?
Well,
Isn't
he missed.
He
got hurt in the first.
Yeah, they went 11-1 with him.
Because his first game was the Pittsburgh game.
Well, that's it's not. It wasn't. It certainly wasn't just him, but he is important, and we're gonna see what ends up happening with him. All right, this one's from Mike Parr, and this is the last one we got here today. Who, in your opinion, is getting the franchise tag? And I'll just make this quick. I mean, you give it to Barry, but I don't think that it'll come to that. If he wants to be here, and the Chiefs do want him here, that'll be a deal that gets done, and that'll be that. It's restrictive using it on Halle or Houston or even Jay Howard. It's restrictive. The number's too high. So I think probably Barry's the only candidate that makes a whole lot of sense. You could do it for Sean Smith, but that'd be $10 million or $13 million or something like that too. It'd be high too. So it's just a restrictive number. I mean, and plus that's a tough thing to do to Sean Smith. He came here on a good deal, but it wasn't like great money. Like if he hits the market, like someone's gonna pay him Byron Maxwell money, and he is better than Byron Maxwell. There's no doubt about that. Is he going to be happy here during that 1 year? Like, no, because no one's going to pay a 29-year-old big corner what they're going to pay a 28-year-old. It's just that year makes a difference. It makes all the difference. So, it almost doesn't even make sense doing it because he wouldn't be happy with it. So, if anybody's got something to add, okay. as always, that's going to do it for today's show. But as always, Andy, my friend, we wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you, Terez.
Here.
You've done a hell of a job here, man. It was a pleasure to be a coworker of yours, man. Go kick ass in L.A.
Try my best.
You're gonna be great, man.
get to
Have you
watch
set,
the
have you set
Chargers.
everything up, bro? Are you
No, I mean I'll be fine. I have like a place to live until spring training.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll buy season tickets to see the Rams or something. They're a hot ticket.
set? Yeah, the hot ticket. Oh, there's gonna be plenty of seats available.
Or the Chargers, either one.
Yeah, there's gonna
much
be
of
plenty
a-
of seats to see L.A. football.
Like how much of like a sort of like matinee idol star is Nick Foles going to be in LA? I mean, he's going to run that town. Can't wait. It's going to be him and like Ryan Gosling like on all the, red carpets.
If they build that thing the right way, they'll be formidable because everybody wants to live in L.A. or San Diego. And country's best talent often goes there, and shows with you, man. We wish you the best.
Thank you, Terez. That's very kind of you to say.
yeah,
Thank
man.
you guys for letting me come in here and enjoy the
for
heat
sure, man.
and conversation.
For sure, man.
Both have been stimulating.
We hope so. It's been
I learned a lot. I know so much more about the NFL now. I'm going to go to LA and watch football with people and be like, hey, look at the way that guy burps the baby. Just be like, sir, get out of
Don't
this establishment.
You gotta believe it if you're gonna say it though. You can't just All right, if you like the show, guys, please remember to rate and review us on iTunes at SportsBeat KC. It helps us, so just do it. Also remember to download our Red Zone app to stay on top of all your Chiefs news this offseason. There is no shortage of Chiefs news. They will continue to be so throughout this offseason. So download it. Stay on top of everything. Finally, shout out to our producer, Chris Figgett, for putting this together. Thank you, Chris. Shout out to Kevin McLeod for giving us this badass outro music and the intro music. Thanks, man. And shout out to all of you for buying the paper, clicking on our stories, and reading them. If it wasn't for you all, we couldn't do what we love, which is writing great stories and covering sports. So we're going to be back in this podcast studio soon. We're going to tape a free agency podcast. I know that's what you guys want, but had to cover the season, the season-ending game with respect. It's been a great season. It's been a long season. Give it the respect it's due. Free agency podcast coming soon. Be on the lookout for that. So for Sam, Vahe, Andy, and Blair, I'm your boy Terez, man. We love y'all. We're out of here. Peace. Give me the music.